Dear members of the KM South Africa Conference 2019, on behalf of the KM Global Network, I send you greetings and hope that you have a fruitful and a fulfilling conference. Let me give you a little talk about the KM Global Network. I am Rudolph D'Souza and currently I chair this network for the year 2019. This KM network, the Global KM Network, consists of 12 different countries, from Australia, from France, from Japan, from Indonesia, from India, from Russia, from Hong Kong, from South Africa, from Singapore, from Thailand, and from Israel. So we are 12 different KM networks across the globe. And the story began actually in 2014 when 4 countries, that is Australia, Hong Kong, and Thailand, got together at Singapore, and they thought about forming this network. And there was an MOU that was signed and a charter was started out. In 2015, countries like mine, that is India, USA, Japan, and Russia, joined in. And slowly we started doing a lot of activities. So we had global webinars, for example, on design thinking, on social capital. So when you join the network, so if you are a member network of say South Africa and you join the KM Global Network, now you have a global audience with which you can connect. So the objectives I will explain the objectives shortly, how you can actually become part of this network and you can also contribute and you can learn at the same time. In 2017, we had the first global conference. So we had this at Bangkok. And you need to remember that when we talk about the global conference, so Thailand has the annual KM conference, so we made that as part of the KM Global Network. So now there were participants and presenters from different countries. You can see in the picture out there. In 2018, we had the conference in Australia. So the goals of the KM Global Network is actually to increase the membership base. So we are trying to grow globally. We are trying to raise a membership profile. So a person from South Africa now has a global audience, maybe in Russia or in Israel or in Australia. And we want to expand the membership outreach. So we want to have different programs so that people from one country can learn from what others are doing. And we want to keep sharing our resources. And we want to create a platform for cross-disciplinary collaboration and advocacy. So let me explain more as we go forward. So like I mentioned, the current countries are Australia, France, Hong Kong, India, Indonesia, Japan, Russia, Singapore, South Africa, Thailand, and USA. So we are 12 countries in all, and we have inquiries from other nations to be joining in shortly. So the activities that we have, so we have every monthly or we have bi-monthly meetings in which we actually discuss the way forward, what activities are to be done. And we have formed a website. It is still in the initial stages right now, but we have got members who are contributing. For example, France has sent us white papers on what they're doing, on what is the KM Global Manager can be doing. Okay, and India and Russia collaborated very effectively. So we had case studies. So in Russia, you would have a group of members who would get together, and from India, a case study would be presented to them. Similarly, we would have members from India getting together and a case study from Russia being presented. So this was the cross-border collaborations that we have that have blossomed ever since we formed this KM Global Network. In 2019, we had the conference here in India, and we were very happy to welcome Israel and South Africa. And South Africa was very well represented by Refilo. You can see her right there in the center, and she really made a very big impact. And for the first time, we had the flag of the Knowledge Management South Africa Association being promoted across. We had more than 300 members who were participating, and you can see Refilo also took part in some of the panel discussions that we had. The feedback that we got from the participants, imagine we have 300 participants and this is the 15th or 16th year we're having the annual India Global Summit, Knowledge Summit. They said this has truly become an international platform. And this is what the KM Global Network brings to the member countries. So if we participate in your conference, for example, next year, if we participate in your conference, you would get a flavor of international speakers coming in and participating. So this is the way that we look forward to participating, but Refilo did a very great job on your behalf. So Refilo, if you are there, I reach out to you and say hi to you again. And you can see that here in this one frame, how many countries are represented, and Refilo was right there in the center out there. So South Africa was right in the heart of everyone. And this is what we actually bring. We collaborate, and thereafter a lot of inter-country collaborations have happened. We want now South Africa to become more active, and this is my objective in addressing you all, that you now have a global platform because KM South Africa is now part of the KM Global Network, and we look forward to your participation. So please connect up with me and let us know how we can take this forward. Now, what I have done in this tenure, I have formed 3 task forces. One is how do we enhance the presence of KMGN, because we don't have a website as of now. So one is we want to have a website, we want to have a social presence, etc. And we want content. So the whole idea is that people participate, and from one country you can then put up content which could be viewed globally. We now having another task force that is working to raise the standard of KM. So today in some of the countries KM is not so I would say at the level where it was earlier. So we want to raise the standard of the discipline, and we want to create some global strategic initiatives. So that is why we are having 3 different task forces. So what can you as members of KM South Africa do? Any of you are free to join any of the task forces. So please connect back after this, and I will send out a list of task forces, who are the members, what is the charter, and then you can join any of the task forces. We welcome people from across the globe to participate in any of these task forces. Second, if one of you would like to do a webinar, a global webinar, you can do something like what I'm doing today, do a screen capture. Okay, so you record, because sometimes technology doesn't work well in across the globe. So like I did, you record your webinar, so the slides and your video, you record the webinar, you do it what we call screen capture, and then we can go live after that. So somebody can play it and you could be live and take questions directly. If there's any way in which you feel that yes, you can contribute, we look forward to it. And one example is inter-country collaboration. So you could select a particular country and say, can we have a sharing? For example, in India, a lot of work is happening on the newer technology, and you'd like to know more about it. So we could have India and some companies from India and South Africa, you could get onto a live webinar and you can have case studies presented to each other. So we look forward to that collaboration. And where can you specifically contribute? Actually, Africa is now today known for its vibrant new thinking. You all are a young continent. So we look forward, and we do find that you're leapfrogging because of technology. You're just jumping the gun. So is there something that you all are doing in knowledge management? Why do you have to follow what we have been, developed countries have been doing? There is something that maybe you're doing differently, something new that you're doing. You all are, you all love people interaction. So is there something that we can learn from you all? So could you share how you all are doing knowledge management, while we will also share what we are doing? But you don't have to imitate us. We'd like to learn from you. So that would be one of the things. Now the ISO KM standards have been announced, 30401. So globally people are looking at it. This is something that since you all are young in KM, maybe you could start standardizing, getting into standards. And the development goals, sustainable development goals 2030. I believe Africa is doing a lot of work on SDG 2030. So we really look forward to hearing from you, and maybe the KM Global Network can be a partner in working, finding out which countries are doing or which companies are doing good as far as the environment is concerned, and together maybe we can collaborate. So I really look forward to your participation, and I want to leave a thought for you. Would you like to host the conference in 2021 or 2022? Next year in 2020, Hong Kong is going to take the chair from India. So the president of the Hong Kong KM Society is going to be the chair for the KM Global Conference. 2021-2022 is still open. So if you would like to bid and become the chair as well as host the global conference, we will be most happy to have you as the chair in 2021-2022. So with those few words, I look forward to your contribution, your participation, and we would like to understand from you how can we contribute to you. Feel free, I am always available. Rafilo and the others would be having my contact details. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful speaking to all of you. Good day.